What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Display TV. I'm your host, Sarah Pribis. It's Monday night here in New York City. How are we all feeling? How's everybody doing tonight? Did you have a crazy Monday? Was it stressful? Are you feeling good? Give me your mood in the chat. I want to see 1s and 10s and 5s. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, obviously. 10, you had the easiest Monday ever. 1 being, I never, ever want to do that again. So for anyone that's just tuning in, we are doing a pre-show. This is what we do every single weeknight before trivia, which is starting in about 15 minutes or so. Yes, in about 15 minutes or so. We've got $500 that we're giving away, and we're also going to give away an answer in just a little bit as well. But I just want to say hi and thank you again to everyone tuning in. Chico99FB, you know, all my friends are here in the chat, and I'm so grateful. So thanks, guys, giving me a good start to my Monday. We're talking about how to make money on this app because, again, you do not have to just wait for trivia every single night. If you're sort of passively posting, engaging here on the app, you will be making money on this app. Just gotta be patient. You gotta be patient. There's some people in here right now who have been tuning in, taking my tips, applying the suggestions, and they are starting to make money. And that's so exciting to me. I love seeing that. So anybody who's feeling bold enough to shout out how much they've made on this app, go. They're in the chat. Brag about it. I'm giving you permission. In the meantime, let's get to something else that might give you bragging rights. Are you good at trivia? Are you someone who's been tuning into trivia and you've won trivia perhaps? Again, that's starting in about 15 minutes. We've got $500 to give away, but we're gonna make it a little easier for you for tuning in early. We're gonna give away the answer to question 8, but we're not just gonna give it away. We gotta have you guess it first. So this one is going to be for all of my, what do I wanna call this? Geography people. You gotta know a little bit of history, a little bit of culture. You know, we should make a trivia about the trivia. You should try to have to start to guess sort of what the question is before we even put the question up. Okay, but here it is, question 8. Again, this is not for money. This is just for you to guess, and then I will reveal the answer. Will be for money later. Okay, question 8. Which of the following is located in Italy's central region, whose capital in Italian is Firenze? Michelangelo's David, the Colosseum, Da Vinci's The Last Supper. Which of the following is located in Italy's central region, whose capital in Italian is Firenze? Michelangelo's David, the Colosseum, Da Vinci's The Last Supper. See, was I right in what topics, what categories I was calling this question? I don't know how you would describe it. Italian landmarks. Are you good with Italian landmarks? If so, you're definitely gonna know the answer to this. But I have no doubt that you guys do know the answer to this one because you always get it right. So yeah, I have faith in you, and it's already looking like most of you know this, but I don't want to reveal it quite yet. So bravo, either you've been to, this is a question I want answered in just a second once this question is done. I want to know who's been to Italy, or maybe do we have anyone tuning in from Italy right now? Gomescu is one of my favorites. He's a creator that you should definitely follow in this app. He's got incredible landscapes from Italy. He's an amazing photographer. We've had him on the show before, so if you want somebody from Italy to follow, check it out. Okay, it's time to reveal. We were looking for Michelangelo's David. Yes, that is in Tuscany, Florence. I have been, actually. It's incredible. I would love to go back. I did Venice, and I did Florence, and I did Rome, and it was all incredible. So if you haven't been to Italy, and again, shout yourselves out right now. If you have been to Italy, let me know in the chat. Oh, definitely. The food is delicious. If I could speak Italian, I would have said that in Italian, but I didn't know I was going to be talking about this. So there you go. All right, friends, you have the answer to question 8. Look at that. Only 9 more to go. You got this. Bravo. Yes, so proud of you. It's Monday, and you're already answering trivia questions. I'm so proud of you. Okay. So we got trivia coming up. If you're just tuning in, we just gave away the answer to question 8. We do this every single weeknight before our trivia game. So if you want the answer next time, tune in early, or maybe one of these fine folks will reveal it right now in the chat for you. Otherwise, we're gonna be right back in just a moment with some content. I wanna show you some hashtags. I wanna show you some stuff that you can be posting that's really simple but beautiful. We'll be right back with your content. Welcome everybody! Tonight is the last night of Hanukkah, so a very happy one to all those who celebrate. Now, I'm not going to waste time making sure we're on the same page about the spelling. Is there a CH? Is there not? Can I spell it both ways in the same sentence because I forgot what form I used earlier on in said sentence? Like, these are the things I'd like to know, but they're not what's important. What's important is Hanukkah is when the Jewish people commemorate victory against all odds and light in the darkness. And to that I say, L'chaim. Now, the thing to remember here is during the historic battle of Judah the Maccabee against the Greeks, there was only enough oil to light the menorah for one night. But the oil heard that and was like, psh, you don't know me, and then proceeded to burn for 8 nights just to prove a point. As someone who constantly needs to prove others wrong, I totally see where this oil was coming from. And I say more power to you, oil. Haters make us famous. Well, okay, maybe haters have made you famous, and I'm still working on the fame, and therefore haters. The point is, this was a miracle. You know what else is a miracle? Free money. So let's get to how it's won. You'll have 10 seconds to answer 10 questions each. When a new question appears, choose carefully, because once you tap, there's no going back. Make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi and you're holding your phone vertically. Your winnings will appear in your display bank account if and only if you're an active user in the app. All right, let's waste no more time. Hanukkah might last for 8 nights, but I think I got about, like, give or take 15 minutes left in me before I burn out. It's time for display trivia. Question 1. The Jewish festival of Hanukkah takes place over how many nights? 8, 100, 365. The Jewish festival of Hanukkah takes place over how many nights? 8, 100, 365. In case you weren't listening in my intro, this is the last night of Hanukkah, tonight, for those of you who celebrate. Did you cross everything you needed to off your Hanukkah bucket list? Light all the candles, spin the dreidel. I mean, I'm not Jewish, but I'm sure arguing with family is also a part of that holiday as well. If a holiday occurs and no one has an argument, did the holiday even happen? You know, like the tree in the woods thing. Also, like, what dramatic tree came up with that saying? Wow, I bet I could fall right now and no one would even care. Tree, now you're acting like mom who thinks no one noticed her cooking. But we did, because those latkes were fresh. Hanukkah lasts 8 days, but we're done with this question. Question 2. This global pop sensation recently received her freedom after 13 years in a conservatorship. Shania Twain, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. This global pop sensation recently received her freedom after 13 years in a conservatorship. Shania Twain, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. No matter who you ask, probably almost anywhere in the world, this lady is the princess of pop. Although I think in most places they call it soda. I mean, I think one thing we can all agree on is that it shouldn't be called Coke. I don't think I need to get all the way into it, but either way, it's short for something. One of them is a specific brand name of soda, Coca-Cola. It's like calling tissue Kleenex. Babe, this is not a paid post. They're not going to sponsor you. That's what the display bank is for. But look, it doesn't matter which regional dialect you're most comfortable with. Coke, soda, pop. Britney Spears is the princess of them all. She's now out of her toxic situation and she's stronger than yesterday. Question 3. Complete the following verse of poetry. Shall I compare thee to a French chalet, summer's day, canopy? Complete the following verse of poetry. Shall I compare thee to a French chalet, summer's day, canopy? Be careful now. This is a sonnet, aka the OG love poem. Well, I think it was probably just for cavemen grunting when they wanted to get it on, but a few years later the sonnet did take hold. Now, here's what I want to know about love poems. Why, when we love someone, do we want to speak them in rhyme? Hey babe, I love you so much. I want to Dr. Seuss you to death. Would you love me in the rain? Would you love me on a train? No, I don't love you anywhere if you don't cut the crap and just talk to me like a normal person, Jerry. But when penning love poems, comparisons are where it's at, and Willie Shakes wanted to compare the object of his affections to a beautiful summer's day. Okay, that's hot. I mean, temperature-wise, I mean. Question 4. Which of the following acronyms would you be least likely to see in military context? AWOL, MIA, RSVP. Which of the following acronyms would you be least likely to see in a military context? AWOL, MIA, RSVP. Acronyms. You know, I did acronyms once, but not too long, because, you know, my mom, like, signed me up when I was a kid, but I wasn't very good. It was a perfect storm, really, of, like, why I wasn't cut out for it. I was too afraid of getting hurt, of falling off the balance beam, like, I'm not flexible, and floor routines, I mean, I just want to sit. Best routine is a bedtime routine. I mean, I look good in a leotard, but that'll only carry you so far. Oh, this is another classic Sarah Pribis mix-up. I confused acronyms with acrobatics again, didn't I? Okay, in my defense, I find both to be very confusing. Like, why do we need to fling ourselves through the air for sport, and why do we need to shorten everything we say? AWOL and MAA are used in combat, but they also describe my location in acro class. My mom pulled me out after. Question 5. This cartoon character's catchphrase is "Good grief." Charlie Brown, Bugs Bunny, Homer Simpson. This cartoon character's catchphrase is "Good grief." Charlie Brown, Bugs Bunny, Homer Simpson. Every self-respecting cartoon character has a catchphrase. In fact, I think legally they have to. It's in the same clause of their contract as always having to wear the same outfit and only having 4 fingers. The birds spinning around their head when they're dizzy, or their eyes pulsing out of their heads when they're in love, also in the agreement. Unless you're in an adult cartoon. I mean, same rules apply, but if you're the main character, you'll have to do everything in a detached monotone. Those are the cartoon laws, my friends. Now, if you haven't already, you're probably gearing up to watch his Christmas special, but Charlie Brown is the owner of this phrase. Hey, at least the grief is good. Question 6. Oh Captain, My Captain is a poem written about which historical figure? Walt Whitman, Abraham Lincoln, General Grant. Oh Captain, My Captain is a poem written about which historical figure? Walt Whitman, Abraham Lincoln, General Grant. Okay, this is coming as a huge surprise to me because I always thought this poem was about the world's most beloved captain. No, not Captain Von Trapp, although he's good too. No, not Captain Jack Sparrow, but that guy does need more credit for making it sexy for men to wear eyeliner, aka guyliner. The captain that I'm talking about is Captain Crunch. I've been asking him for years to crunchitize me, Captain, and I will not stop now. Crunchitize me, Captain? Please, it's all I ask. Oh Captain, My Captain is a poem by Walt Whitman about Abraham Lincoln, delivered best by Robin Williams in Dead Poet Society. Q7. The company Stark Industries is part of what cinematic universe? DC Comics, Star Wars, Marvel. The company Stark Industries is part of what cinematic universe? DC Comics, Star Wars, Marvel. Stark Industries, one of the biggest tech conglomerates in its respective universe. Now that's one company I wish I had purchased stock in. Instead, I spent it all on Blockbuster. I thought to myself, Sarah, people are always gonna wanna rent VHS tapes and DVDs, watch them, slide them into those little metal slots. Color me embarrassed. Even when streaming became a thing, I said, no, Sarah, people will still want to have to drive to that eyesore of a blue and yellow building, you know, deal with a rude teenage cashier, and then rack up $30 in late fees because you can't find that copy of Shrek 2 you rented months ago. Anyway, unlike Blockbuster, Tony Stark knew how to run a successful company in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Question 8. Which of the following is located in Italy's central region whose capital in Italian is Firenze? Michelangelo's David, the Colosseum, Da Vinci's The Last Supper. Which of the following is located in Italy's central region whose capital in Italian is Firenze? Michelangelo's David, the Colosseum, Da Vinci's The Last Supper. Speaking of Italian landmarks, do you guys remember the memoir turned Hollywood blockbuster Eat, Pray, Love? The eat part happened in Italy, and personally, if it had been my memoir, I am not sure we would have ever gotten to the other parts, you know, like the praying and the loving. Yeah, I think I would have been okay with just the eating, and y'all would have had to be okay with that, especially in Italy. How do people have time to look at art when they get there? Like, there's pancetta, prosciutto to be eaten. Is the sculpture made of cheese? Well then, what am I supposed to do with it? Stare? Firenze is the Italian for Florence in Tuscany, which is home to the David, who is unfortunately made of marble and not, as I had hoped, Parmesan. Q9. Which of the following human body parts are not considered part of the immune system? Tonsils, adenoids, uvula. Which of the following human body parts are not considered part of the immune system? Tonsils, adenoids, uvula. The immune system is so important because it is the body's line of defense against disease. The immune system is basically the automated system that monitors your credit cards and calls you when someone makes an interesting charge. Hi Sarah, this is Chase. We saw someone made a $700 purchase on honeybakedham.com. I mean, there's no way that could have been you, right? Yeah, no, of course not. Thanks for looking out. Sheesh, that was a close one. Most of the time, this is a very nice feature, you know, like in case your card actually got stolen. And it's basically what white blood cells do to fight off infection. Although all these parts are located in the throat, the tonsils and adenoids loaded up with white blood cells are where the buck stops. The uvula? That thing's just decorative, right? It's time for the final question. Q10. The actor who plays the head of the family in HBO's Succession recently admitted to having turned down a role on which showrunner's roster? Damon Lindelof, Benioff and Weiss, Vince Gilligan. The actor who plays the head of the family in HBO's Succession recently admitted to having turned down a role on which showrunners roster: Damon Lindelof, Benioff and Weiss, Vince Gilligan. If you're not familiar with Succession, this is a show about a family of billionaires, and if it's taught me anything, it is this: money does not buy happiness. Money barely affords moderate satisfaction. Apparently not, because these characters on the show are always finding something to complain about. My helicopter was late, my yacht's too small, my dad's an aggressive, fear-mongering businessman who has pitted me and all my siblings against each other for the purposes of furthering his own media empire. Yeah, tell me about it. I definitely relate to all those 1% of problems. I buy and sell stocks, so what if they're just vegetable or chicken stocks? I like soup. The actor is Brian Cox, who portrays Logan Roy, and recently in an interview he mentioned that he was approached for Game of Thrones, created by Benioff and Weiss for HBO. But he turned down the role because at the time, they weren't offering enough money. He went on to say he regrets not being part of one of the most popular TV shows of all time. Duh. I guess doesn't have the same cutthroat business acumen as his Succession character, but we love him anyway. Those other two showrunners are Damon Lindelof of Lost and Vince Gilligan of Breaking Bad. You came, you slayed, you displayed your knowledge, and you got paid. Now, you might not be rolling into secret underground clubs like the Roy family, but hey, money's money, right? And as I said, it can't buy happiness, but it can buy a spicy gordita crunch from the 24-hour Taco Bell drive-thru, which, if you ask me, is the same thing. And if you want to have a Baja Blast, tune in at 7:30 tomorrow night for our pre-show, where I'll show you all the ways that you can make money in the Display app. How was that for a Monday, everyone? Not too shabby, right? Look at you, turning on those brain juices and making some money. I'll spend any Monday like that. All right, everyone, hopefully I will see you for that pre-show tomorrow. Don't forget, I give away a trivia answer. So if you want that, tune in, join me. We also talk about how to make money on Display. I'll see you there. Bye.